Jeremy had time today. We're in the comments section. I pulled a post. You put up an Instagram post recently about Trump administration's teaser of a potential 50-year mortgage. Hot topic. So you combined one of the hottest PFC topics, buy versus rent, with politics. So it was a blaze. And I pulled one of the comments, and I hope that you would have time today. So I'm going to read this comment. This commenter says, I get the concern. The interest over 50 years is a lot, but I think we're missing the bigger picture. For many buyers, it's not about the total interest. It's about qualifying and affording the monthly payment today. A 50-year mortgage could open the door for people who otherwise can't buy right now. And let's be real, no one says you have to keep it for 50 years. With the right strategy and extra principal payments, it can be a flexible tool, not a trap. It's not perfect for everyone, but for some, it's a way in. That's worth considering. And then they commented on their comment and said, I think the goal here is teaching financial literacy to people for them to make smart decisions. Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this commenter?
So, yeah, just to kind of mention the point of the post, I said, hey, if you take out a $500,000 mortgage at 7%, which is about the current rates, and pay it off over 30 years, you pay about $700,000 in interest, more than even what you're borrowing, which is mind-blowing, right? But if you extend that to 50 years, instead of paying $700,000 in interest, you pay $1.3 million in interest.
Crazy.
So you borrow $500,000 and you pay back $1.8 million. And this isn't like monopoly money. It's like actually like you're taking out of your paycheck every month, giving to the bank $1.8 million over 50 years, right? And in exchange for that, instead of paying $3,300 a month, I'm rounding here, you pay $3,000 a month. So your payment's about $300 a month less, but you pay $1.3 million in interest. And the commenter is like, yeah, but that's not the point. You know, this isn't how people operate in the real world. They don't just sit there and pay a mortgage for 30 years or 50 years. They just try to get into a home as a tool to get a lower payment. And then something else happens, like they refinance or they sell or whatever. And to that, I actually say, like, yeah, that's true. In fact, according to LendingTree, most 30-year mortgages only last between 7 and 10 years because that's kind of how long people stay in a home, or that's how long it lasts before the refi. And so you're not actually paying all that interest to that one lender over the 30 years. You're getting out and then starting something else. But you're still paying the interest. And if you just, keep refining or keep moving and keep restarting the clock, you still are paying all that interest and then more probably. And so I actually have a little, you may have seen this in the notes. I don't know, but I'm going to ask you a little guessing game, and I already deleted it, so you can't see it now.
Oh.
But my question is, if you have a 50-year mortgage and you're making that $3,000 a month payment, and so you're paying $3,000 a month times 12 months times 7 years, like what LendingTree said, how long it lasts. So you pay $250,000 to your mortgage. So a $500,000 mortgage, you pay $250,000 towards that mortgage.
Yeah.
7 years later, what is the remaining balance on that mortgage? How much do you think you still owe? Because not all $250,000 goes towards principal. Right. You're paying interest along the way. So what's your guess? And this is the 50-year mortgage scenario. This is like the new proposed 50-year crazy long mortgage. What would after 7 years, how much principal would you pay off, or what would be your remaining balance?
You're 7 years in, you've paid $250,000 on a $500,000 mortgage, and but you've had to pay interest on that. So I'm gonna say $300,000.
300. Oh, sweet summer Jen. My sweet summer child. So you pay $250,000 towards this $500,000 mortgage. After 7 years, your remaining balance on that mortgage is $490,000.
Oh my God.
You've made virtually no progress. And so this 50-year mortgage, what it essentially amounts to is an interest-only mortgage.
Yeah.
Since these loans last on average 7 to 10 years, that of that $250,000, $240,000 went to interest.
That's
and
crazy.
$10,000. A little thing, like less than
that's a
less
joke.
than Orlando has in credit card. It's a total joke. And so, and I think these like finance bros, I don't know if this commenter is a finance bro. He's like, yeah, but you got the leverage and you're gonna sell it. You're gonna make.
I'm pretty sure this
moves.
commenter was a woman, so shout out to her for having that masculine
Okay,
energy.
all right, finance chick then. Or I don't know if the alternative is your finance bro, but I don't actually remember the gender of this person. But I agree with the commenter that they're right that a lot of times you're just looking at the monthly payment. But I'd say getting into interest-only loans isn't good personal finance behavior because you're basically then betting the entire farm on the value of your home going up. Because like, let's say, you're essentially becoming a lifelong renter to the government, paying property tax, to your lender, paying mortgage interest, and to your insurance company, paying insurance. So you're making these huge payments. And then if the value of your home doesn't go up or it goes down, all is lost, right? And do primary homes tend to go up in value? Yeah, usually, but not always. Like my brother had to sell a home at a loss during the financial crisis back in 07, 08 timeframe.
Yeah.
And also 50-year mortgages will probably have higher interest rates. So if you look at a 30-year and a 15-year today, the 30-year has a higher rate by like 0.5% or 1% more than the 15-year, as will the 50-year probably. And so to suggest to someone they should pay more interest to not pay down the principal at all and basically get into this like very risky interest-only situation where they're hoping the home goes up in value is like not good personal finance behavior. And so, no, I wouldn't recommend this. That said, someone could say, well, yeah, just do the 50-year and then just pay it off like a 30-year, pay it off like a 15. I'm like, yeah, but, at some point you're just, giving yourself enough rope to hang yourself with. And so I'm not a huge fan. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a saying. So much rope you can hang yourself.
I wasn't ready for it. It's got a little dark.
Yeah. And didn't mean to be that context, but yeah. So yeah, I kind of agree with this person that like, the idea isn't you sit there and pay the same thing for 50 years because that's not how people behave. But still, I don't like it as a tool to like, get into a bigger home because you're just basically, it's a tool to become more house poor. I'd rather when someone has a 15-year loan, I'm like, yeah, like go for it. Get that 15-year loan, hold your feet to the fire, get out of debt soon, own that home in cash, put more of your money towards investing after that. That's how you actually build wealth, not by getting into interest-only situations where you're bought too much house and you're just between property insurance, mortgage interest, and property tax. You're just basically treading water your whole life. That's not the idea.
Well, can't argue with that. You did, in fact, have time today, and we appreciate it. On that note, that's all we have time for you today on the Personal Finance Club show. We'll see you next week.
And don't forget to live by the 2 rules of Personal Finance Club. Rule number 1, live below your means. Don't get into 50-year mortgages. And rule number 2, invest early and often. Peace.